I've been married to Vivian for 5 years. She's everyone's idea of the perfect wife. That day, she left me, barely alive after the car accident, to meet the man she'd never gotten over. The next morning, I asked for a divorce. Yet she kept begging me with red-rimmed eyes. Ryan, please don't leave me. Tomorrow would be our 5th wedding anniversary. We'd long planned to celebrate at this hot spring resort. I pointed excitedly at the brochure. How about we go here? We could spend a few days exploring the area too. Vivian looked uncomfortable. My heart sank. Ryan, there's a new project at work. I don't think I can get away for our anniversary. Work. Of course. To Vivian. Her career always came first. Ever since we co-founded the company, she'd poured her entire being into it. I promise I'll wrap this up quickly. Then we'll take that trip, she said. I forced a smile. It's fine. We'll go another time. Vivian nodded. See, this is why you're the best. Ryan, you always understand. She began typing work emails on her phone. When she finally set it down, I wrapped my arms around her from behind. My intention's clear. She patted my hand. Let's just sleep. I'm exhausted. Another rejection. How many times this month? But I couldn't complain. Her job was demanding. Unlike my freelance gigs since leaving the company. Listening to her steady breathing, I slipped out to pour bourbon. The amber liquid swirled as I downed it, then lit a cigarette. If Vivian saw the smoke curling up, she'd say, "Those will kill you," but never actually take the cigarette away. No anger, no real concern, just perfunctory spousal duty performed. Her affection always stayed lukewarm. These days, we only talked about work. With me, she might as well be an AI assistant. We met in college. Back then, Vivian was campus royalty, stunning, valedictorian material, student body president, every parent's dream child. Loving her was inevitable. Every guy on campus did. I did all the cliché romances, breakfasts at her dorm, iced tea in summer, hand-knit scarves in winter, special herbal teas during her cycle. 2 years of grand gestures earned me. I'm sorry. My heart belongs to someone else. I'd sobbed in my dorm. Drunk, texted friends demanding answers. Then, after an all-night gaming session, I stumbled back at dawn to see Vivian with Ethan. Ethan, basketball team captain. His own fan club. Campus forums buzzed about how compatible Vivian and Ethan were. Now I watched him trail after her through the quad. Vivian was pouting, while Ethan kept apologizing profusely behind her. Vivian, please don't be angry anymore. I promise I'll never smoke again. Okay, don't talk to me. She huffed, turning away. I don't want to speak with you right now. The goddess I'd always seen as untouchably perfect revealed her human side around Ethan, sulking, pouting, behaving like an ordinary girl in love. For the first time, I felt I truly understood Vivian, hidden in the shadows. I watched Ethan coax her into forgiveness beneath the maple trees, their silhouettes merging in a tender kiss that seemed to last forever. When their relationship became public knowledge at school, no one expressed surprise. Yet this universally admired couple met their downfall when Ethan's parents stormed onto campus, shouting about prearranged engagements and accusing Vivian of being a homewrecker. The worst part? Ethan froze during that confrontation, failing to protect her. The proud Vivian I knew vanished overnight. She left Ethan, withdrew from school, though mercifully received her diploma through what I suspected were backdoor deals between Ethan's powerful Brooks family and the administration. Years later, during a business collaboration, I found myself spellbound again by her focused expression in meetings. I treated her with the same devotion as our school days, respecting her choices, accompanying her on trips, preparing her favorite meals. On her birthday, I knelt before our gathered friends with a ring. Vivian, will you marry me? Tears glistened in her eyes as she silently extended her left hand. We married swiftly, my anxiety about Ethan's potential interference outweighing any traditional courtship rituals. From our first married morning, I sensed her emotional distance. No playful banter. No arguments. Just endless polite of course. Dears. Yet I clung to hope that constant devotion might thaw her reserve. The truth revealed itself during our anniversary cleaning spree. Beneath our dusty old sofa lay a pristine box containing yellowed diaries and bundled letters. The ink, smudged pages detailed every moment of Vivian and Ethan's romance, clearly stained by tears. Dozens of unsent letters and replies all carried one name, Ethan. When Vivian texted, "Let's have dinner tonight," my treat for forgetting our anniversary, I replied, of course, with practiced calm, staring at the open box on our bedroom floor. The grandfather clock's ticking echoed as I realized my entire marriage existed in the shadow of those maple tree kisses, preserved like pressed flowers in her secret memoirs. By 7 p.m., Vivian still hadn't returned home, and her phone went unanswered. I stared at the meticulously prepared dishes on the table and scoffed. Of course, I'd been stood up again. The food had been reheated twice already. Yet there was still no sign of her. Resigned, I packed everything into containers and drove to the office. The sight of the pitch-black office building stopped me cold. Just as I pulled out my phone to call Vivian again, I saw her emerge from the entrance. My racing heart settled momentarily until I noticed her outfit. Gone was the casual morning attire, replaced by a dress that momentarily transported me back to her dazzling university days as student council president. She hurried past without noticing my parked car. After agonizing hesitation, I tailed her taxi. The streets flowed smoothly as I dialed her number. She answered instantly. "Honey, Ryan, I'm so sorry." She cut in breezily. "Work's crazy tonight. I have to cancel our dinner." Her tone held perfect composure, devoid of any guilt. I chuckled darkly, watching her cab ahead. "What's wrong?" Her voice sharpened. "Darling?" The endearment stabbed through me. She rarely used darling, always preferring Ryan. Normally it would have thrilled me. Now it felt like ice crystallizing in my veins. "Nothing." I forced calm. "Just reminding you to eat." Her light laugh carried through the speaker. "I will. Happy anniversary." "Darling." "Happy anniversary." Her cab stopped at an upscale bistro. I watched her smooth her dress, touch up her lipstick, and glide inside. Taking a seat behind her, I observed as a latecomer arrived clutching roses. "Vivian, sorry I'm late." "You're right on time." She beamed, accepting the bouquet. "Our reservation's at 9. I just came early." My fingers dug into my temples. She'd chosen Ethan over our anniversary dinner. I fled before the waiter approached. At home, I mechanically reheated the cold dishes. After forcing down a few bites, I dumped everything in the trash. Cigarette after cigarette burned as the living room filled with haze. The door clicked open around midnight. Vivian entered empty-handed, no roses in sight. "Why the smoke cloud?" She waved at the air, coughing lightly. "Today was insane. I'm sorry about dinner." I stubbed out my cigarette. "What did you eat?" "Oh, just takeout." I tossed the bistro matchbook I'd pocketed onto the table. "Ethan's takeout?" Her composure shattered. "You followed me." It was my first time seeing Vivian truly angry. We'd argued before, but never like this, her eyes blazing, voice trembling with outrage. The matchbook's embossed logo glinted between us, a silent accuser. The only time Vivian showed signs of anger was when Ethan's name came up. I explained. "I wasn't following you. We just happened to run into each other." She sneered. "Stop pretending it was accidental. Do you even believe your own lies?" My feelings tangled. Part of me rejoiced that Vivian was finally showing human emotions toward me, while the other part ached knowing her anger stemmed mostly from Ethan. "If you don't trust me, say it outright." Vivian snapped, slipping back into her shoes by the entryway. Trust is the foundation of marriage. If you can't give me that, maybe we should divorce. The word divorce froze me in place. By the time I regained my senses, Vivian had already slammed the door. Grabbing my coat, I chased after her down the street. Vivian, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I pleaded desperately behind her rigid back. She marched forward without acknowledgement. At the crosswalk, Vivian's phone rang. As she glanced down, blinding headlights suddenly flooded the intersection. Vivian. I shoved her forward without thinking. The impact sent me flying meters across asphalt. Ryan. Ryan. Vivian's tear-streaked face hovered above me. With fading strength, I managed a weak smile. I'm okay. Darkness swallowed me as Ethan's voice drifted from the phone, still glowing on the pavement. Brooks' family's heir. Calling my wife moments before my world went black. When I awoke in the sterile hospital room, my body felt leaden. Vivian. My hoarse call echoed unanswered. Then I heard her muffled voice outside. Ethan. I'll come soon. Ryan's injured and what? You burned yourself? Don't say that. If I had feelings for him, would I be with you? I'm leaving now. I shut my eyes as the door creaked open. The clack of designer heels faded down the hallway. Laughter bitter as medicine choked me. For years, I'd played the perfect husband, lavishing Vivian with every desire, surrendering my entire fortune, clinging to the hope she'd someday return my affection. Now here I lay, broken and abandoned. While she raced to Ethan at the first summons, I'd once believed their relationship was mere lingering attachment. Now I understood they'd long crossed every line. Tears burned unexpectedly. Guess even men cry when their hearts shatter. Vivian, I whispered to the empty room. You've made your choice. Don't blame me for what comes next. After being discharged from the hospital, Vivian never mentioned that night again. And I likewise stopped bringing up Ethan. Our household seemed unchanged on the surface. Yet I knew everything had transformed, like a rotting apple maintaining its glossy exterior while decaying inside. During my home recovery, Vivian handled all the cooking. One day, she carried a meal tray to my bedside as usual. Ryan, I made braised pork today. Try it, she said cheerfully, adjusting the bed tray. I took a bite and immediately spat it out. Water. Water. Vivian hurriedly handed me a glass. Is it bad? Her voice wavered with self-doubt. I offered no answer, only a strained smile. When reaching for the water, my hand trembled violently, spilling the entire meal across the bedsheets. Vivian froze momentarily before springing into action. This wasn't your fault, she insisted while scrubbing at the oily stain with napkins, her words contradicting the frustration tightening her jaw. After futile scrubbing, she sighed. Let me transfer you to the wheelchair first. We'll change the sheets. Head bowed, I muttered after long silence. Just blame me. I'm useless like this. She heaved me into the wheelchair. Breath labored from exertion. Don't say that. Fresh sheets rustled as she remade the bed. If not for you, I'd be the bettered one. You're my savior, not a burden. So she remembered owing me her life, yet abandoned me in that hospital room. You wouldn't be like this if I hadn't, she began. Enough. I cut her off sharply. She managed a tired smile while transferring me back, sweat glistening at her temples. I'll remake dinner. I chuckled darkly as she retreated to the kitchen. The spilled meal had been intentional, a petty revenge to witness her exhaustion, to force acknowledgement of all I'd sacrificed. Our old dynamic had died with my mobility. When I regained limited movement weeks later, I intercepted Vivian returning from overtime work. Vivian. She turned with habitual tenderness. Yes, Ryan. I'm returning to the office tomorrow. Her smile faltered. But you preferred remote work. Early in our startup, we'd shared office space until stability allowed my retreat home. 1 liter suffices. I'd claimed then. Just need fresh air. I shrugged now. When she hesitated, I smirked. Worried I'll find your office lover? Don't be ridiculous. She laughed too quickly, fingers tightening around her briefcase handle. Vivian frowned. If you want to return to work at the company, just go ahead. I don't have any objections. After waiting for Vivian to return to her room, I lit a cigarette. She accused me of talking nonsense. But according to my knowledge, Ethan had already received the HR department's notice yesterday afternoon and started working at the company this morning. His position was Vivian's secretary. Vivian had never kept a secretary before. This position was clearly created specifically for Ethan. In the past, the mere thought of Ethan's name would make my heart ache. But now it filled me with exhilaration. The anticipation of their eventual downfall made my blood boil with excitement. The next morning, I got up early. Vivian looked momentarily stunned when she saw me standing by the foyer in my suit. Honey, I'm heading to the company today, so I didn't prepare breakfast for you. You won't blame me, right? Of course not. I smiled at her. Then I'll see you at the company. Sweetheart. Ah, yes. Okay. Employees appeared surprised when they saw me at the office, but quickly resumed their work. Only Ethan froze in place when our eyes met. I studied him for a long moment before approaching. Ethan. His body tensed when I said his name. Long time no see. He composed himself and shook my extended hand. Yes. It's been a while. I hope you find your work here fulfilling. I turned away without waiting for his response. Back in my office, I put on the special headphones I'd purchased that morning, synced with the recording device I'd secretly planted in Ethan's jacket. Within minutes, his voice came through clearly, though unfortunately, the equipment only captured his side of the conversation. No, he didn't say anything else. I think it's time you confront him directly. This sneaking around can't continue. You should transfer the assets first, then leave him with an empty shell company. I slammed my fist on the desk. This company was built with my life savings. Though Vivian contributed significantly, I'd worked tirelessly from home all these years. Now they wanted to strip it bare? Controlling my rage, I texted my lawyer friend. He simply replied okay after hearing my situation. The click of stilettos interrupted my thoughts. Ryan. Vivian's sickeningly sweet voice filled the room as I forced myself to greet her. Sweetheart, you're here. Did you see Ethan today? Her tone held cautious probing. Of course. I moved behind her, massaging her shoulders with practiced ease. He hasn't changed a bit, still as handsome as ever. Vivian turned abruptly. You're not angry? I chuckled, tapping her nose playfully. I learned my lesson last time. Didn't I? Her face flushed with guilt at the reference to my car accident. Now I trust my perfect wife completely. Someone as wonderful as you would never cheat on me. Right? My gaze dropped to her tense smile. Hiring an old classmate is no big deal. Why would I mind? Exactly. She laughed nervously. I'd never lie to my husband. After finishing speaking, she immediately changed the subject. Truthfully, she's never been good at lying. Even now, every gesture and movement screamed that she was deceiving me, perhaps even betraying me. My previous downfall stemmed from trusting her too blindly. Now, if she wants to fool me again, she'll have to work much harder. When Vivian stood up to leave, I called out abruptly, Honey, I just remembered something. Opening my phone, I saw the expected message from Ethan. I beckoned her over. Come look at this. Vivian's eyes lit up instantly upon glancing at the screen. She snatched the phone from my hands, scrutinizing the details intently. After reading, she exclaimed excitedly, Ryan, this investment opportunity is golden. We should go for it. Any catches? I feigned hesitation. She shook her head emphatically. I've already done thorough research. Our money will double the moment we invest. Sounds good. Your call. Honey. That same afternoon, Vivian stayed late at the office working on the project. Watching her industrious facade, I simply shrugged and left to meet Ethan. She took the bait. I nodded, lighting a cigarette. This opportunity validates her earlier surveillance. She won't resist. Ethan patted my shoulder. You sure about this? What's to reconsider? I exhaled smoke slowly. What if this is all a misunderstanding? My bitter laugh sliced through the haze. We'll know soon enough. Next morning, Vivian burst in triumphantly. Ryan, I finalized the investment. So soon? I widened my eyes in pretend surprise. Of course. Can't let golden opportunities slip away. For 2 days, she obsessively monitored the project's progress. During dinner, she suddenly shrieked. What's wrong, honey? It's already yielding 10% returns. Her exhilarated expression made my stomach churn. Want to invest more? Silently, she displayed her bank balance, substantial savings accumulated over years. Without blinking, Vivian dumped every cent into the venture. My phone vibrated urgently in my pocket. I casually pressed my palm against it. That night, half asleep, I sensed her slipping out of bed. When I turned over, she froze mid-movement. In the heavy silence, I could almost hear her frantic heartbeat. Feigning sleep, I snorted loudly, visibly relieved. She tiptoed out barefoot. The moment the front door clicked shut, I retrieved my wireless earbuds. Sure enough, Vivian had gone outside to call Ethan. They spoke for half an hour, mainly discussing project matters. Just as I grew bored to death and was about to fall asleep, Ethan's words jolted me awake. Hurry over. I already got the room. Waiting for you. Yeah, same place as before. If he wakes up, just say you're working overtime. That idiot always believes you anyway. Come quick. I'm going crazy without you these past weeks. I swiftly got out of bed. Fortunately, the tracking device showed their location. Staring at the hotel entrance, I snorted coldly. The front desk clerk immediately refused when I stated my purpose. Sorry, we can't disclose guest information. Before she finished speaking, I pulled out my laptop and hacked into their system for the room number. Her eyes widened. Why, you'll have to pay damages for this. I tossed my wallet on the counter. Take whatever you need. Don't worry if your manager complains. Just say you couldn't stop me. She glanced at me twice before busying herself with paperwork. I understood their game perfectly. All this protecting guest privacy nonsense? They'd never actually prevent you from seeing room numbers. Hell, they probably want you to find it more than you do. But you shouldn't make others pay for your business. After getting the room number, I didn't storm upstairs. Instead, I dialed 911. Police arrived within minutes. Half an hour later, officers escorted Vivian and Ethan out. My phone rang as I watched from across the street. This is Metro PD. Your wife Vivian was apprehended in a prostitution sting. Come to the precinct immediately. My best friend accompanied me to the station. Before entering, he grinned and gave me a thumbs up. Savage move. I shrugged. Keep watch out here. Get clear footage when they come out. He nodded solemnly, like accepting a military mission. Putting on my devastated husband act, I entered the precinct. After signing paperwork, Vivian looked at me with tearful remorse. Ryan, I swear nothing happened. Ethan and I were just discussing the project. Discussing projects at midnight in hotel rooms? An officer nearby snorted laughter. Ethan opened his mouth but thought better of it. Staring at his shoes, I walked out silently with Vivian trailing behind like a scolded puppy. The moment we exited, bystanders started jeering. Look, the cheating couple caught in the sting. Is that the husband here to bail out his whore wife? Vivian ducked her head low. By next morning, the scandal trended online. Colleagues pointed and whispered as we entered the office. She tugged my sleeve desperately. Honey, please believe me. I coldly shook her off without responding. That night when she tried talking again, I cut her off. Vivian, I want a divorce. Her shocked expression almost made me laugh. Truth was, Ryan had always been the devoted pushover in her eyes, until this moment. You're divorcing me? She stammered, as if hearing alien words. I nodded. What else can I do? Things between you and Ethan have gone this far. If I don't divorce you, what other choice do I have? I sighed, considering the love we once shared. I'll just take this house. You can keep the car. As for the company, I won't claim it. Just give me another $200,000. Vivian hesitated briefly before agreeing. After all, she'd wanted this divorce from the beginning. My straightforward demand saved her the trouble of negotiations, especially since I'd voluntarily relinquished claims to the company. After finalizing the divorce, I waved at Vivian. Goodbye. Her eyes welled up with tears as she tried to speak, but I cut her off with a cold laugh. Stop the act. You'd better check on that investment project of yours. The color drained from her face. You tampered with the project? She stammered. I simply smiled and walked away. The next day, I found Vivian kneeling in the rain outside my building, screaming hoarsely, Ryan, Ryan. I stepped onto the balcony, divorce certificate in hand. Ryan, it's all my fault. Please forgive me. Don't leave me. Okay, she begged, rainwater mixing with her tears. It's too late. Vivian, you're not my wife anymore. I showed her the divorce papers. Leave. If I could drain every cent from you, you should know there's no going back. I never saw her leave. Later, my friend transferred all the money Vivian had invested in that project to my account. The business opportunity was real enough. The investment channel itself was fraudulent. A few tempting returns had convinced Vivian to pour her entire fortune into it. Now her company faced catastrophic liquidity issues, forcing bankruptcy. Ethan didn't escape unscathed either. His creative accounting and tax evasion schemes while managing their finances would land him a prison sentence. I sold the house and left town. Whatever existed between Vivian and me was finished. Time for new beginnings.